In this day and age, there are over 7,000 animals in captivity. Everyone hears the news stories of animals being treated poorly, and stigma spreads to assume that animals in captivity are more susceptible to disease and mistreatment. But how true is that? We traveled to the San Diego Zoo Safari Park to get into our main topic. Even though it may be hard to believe, sometimes animals are safer in captivity than they are in the wild. We talked to one of the rangers at the park to get more details.
Now, would you say the habitats here, because of their size and maybe the resources you have they ever affected the animals badly?
Hopefully not. I mean, we do a lot of research, scientific research, to make sure that we're providing the best homes for these animals, and that really goes into the thought process of which animals we'll have here or at the San Diego Zoo. And we put a lot of resources. So the exhibit we're in now, Tiger Trail, this is a relatively new exhibit, and it was built with the idea of giving the cats a wonderful home, but also giving guests a chance to see them, interact with this wonderful home, so kind of the best of both worlds for everybody.
The San Diego Safari Park was founded in 1964 and is one of the largest attractions in San Diego. All of the species come from a variety of places, such as here in North and South America, Asia, Africa, and Europe. One of the park's most famous attractions is the California condor. This bird used to be endangered and was on the brink of extinction, but the safari park helped by doing a breeding and recovery program, and now the animals are out in the wild again and thriving. Would the condors have survived if the safari park hadn't stepped in?
If you haven't noticed, the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Safari Park are both run by the same company. So what's the difference? Let's start with the sizing. The zoo has 100 acres of animal exhibits and over 3,700 animals with 650 species. The Safari Park, however, has 1,800 acres of animal habitats and 2,600 animals representing 300 species. The Safari Park has much more space and less species. This is because the point of the Safari Park is to give animals a safe and close to natural habitats.
Now, when is it a better case for animals to be in a safari park than in the wild?
If there is no wild really for them to live in safely. And unfortunately what we're finding is that's true for a lot of endangered species. There's just not a safe space for them to exist. People are hunting them, or they're losing their habitat, or they're losing the prey animals that they would be hunting. And so in that case, giving them a safe space here turns out to be a good thing. Obviously we all want them to live happily in their in their native homes, but sometimes there just isn't a wild for them to live in currently.
Most of the species there have come from either zoos that have mistreated them or places out in the wild when they have been sick or injured and couldn't care for themselves. One of the zoo's tiger cubs had come from Mexico, where a man was trying to pretend it was a house cat to get it over the border and keep it as a pet. Most of us can assume a tiger as a pet would not go well. The young tiger was introduced into the tiger habitat at the safari park and is now thriving with another tiger cub. What would have happened to that tiger if the park hadn't stepped in? Would it have been put into a zoo that wouldn't have treated it that well? And how do you try to recreate some of the natural behaviors in here that they would experience in the wild?
Oh, that's a good one. Enrichment plays a big part in that, setting up opportunities for exercise for the animals. So not just going, come here animal, here's your food, okay, bye. Really giving them an opportunity to exercise and to utilize their entire habitat. So if it's an animal that likes water, giving them different size and depth of pools to swim in. If they like to climb, giving them different apparatus to climb on. And training opportunities definitely help as well.
Tigers are an endangered species. Their population is decreasing because of what humans have done. They have a breeding program for tigers at the safari park, but sadly they don't release them into the wild. You may be wondering why they wouldn't try to bring the population of tigers back up. Well, it's because they can't. It's not safe for tigers in the wild. Their habitats are constantly being destroyed by illegal logging, and they are being poached for their body parts. If the safari park were to release tigers into the wild, they probably wouldn't survive long enough for it to make a difference. We are the ones destroying the population of animals like tigers, so we're the ones that have to do something to help, and that's exactly what the safari park is doing. By giving the tigers a safe place to live, they are ensuring that they don't become extinct.
Places like the safari park have helped save many species of animals. some as big as tigers, and some as small as iguanas and plant species. A lot of these animals would not have survived out in the wild, and probably would have gone extinct. So let us leave you with a question. How many species on the earth would be gone if it weren't for programs like the San Diego Safari Park have?